To, I believe, a young lady who has a YouTube channel and probably a podcast from what it looks like. And the header for her particular video or podcast is Trans Man's Viral Breakdown. And she says it's a female who was transitioned to live as a man recently went viral after speaking about having a lot of difficulty making deep friendships after transitioning, saying nobody warned me that being a man is lonely. Is this just a product of attempting to live as a man when one is not a man biologically, or is there actually something amiss or wrong with how men relate to each other? This episode contains pre-recorded content. Alright, so after reading this particular blog by this gentleman, Andrew T. Walker, I agree with everything he has said here. There's a lot of things that we're not going to understand about this because this transcends our understanding in some areas. My take on it is I'm okay with that. Okay? I'm okay with that. There's certain things that we don't have the capacity. It doesn't mean that we are dumb or stupid. There are just certain things that we're not going to understand, that God is going to understand it. And since we're dealing with other forces as well, because we are in a spiritual war, the beings on the other spectrum of God, which is the devil and his followers, they are not human like us. So there are going to be things that they're going to have, and how we all ended up in the situation that we are now, what I go back to all the time, is the Garden of Eden. Okay? And that tree, okay, of that forbidden knowledge that we were not meant to partake of. Knowledge that was not meant for us. Okay? That is actually proven, some of that knowledge from that tree, the devil has handed down to mankind, and it has been very detrimental to our existence here on earth. Okay? We cannot handle it. That's why God told Adam and Eve not to partake of that tree. We're not equipped to handle that forbidden knowledge, wanting to be our own God, to see God as a tyrant and holding us back, and us being our own God. We can't handle it. Okay? And we have destroyed this earth with that forbidden knowledge that Satan has tried to help us and be our benevolent benefactor. We have poisoned the air, the water, the food, each other. We have done things to each other and to ourselves that prove to me, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that we need God. We cannot be our own gods. We're not capable of it. Let God be God. Okay, and let us be us. That's my take on that. Okay, so I want to bring up something that happened, I don't know, was it last month? And this has to do with the whole transgender debate or agenda, or the topic, was a senator that I saw. I believe she is from Nebraska. And I think her name is Michaela Kavanaugh. And she was talking at some political event, and she was advocating for trans rights. And I think that she's also a key player in the Planned Parenthood setup there, okay, infrastructure. And it became, some of what she talked about went viral from what I understand. I had never heard of her before. I was not familiar with her before, but she became very emotional. It's probably an understatement. And she started to chant, is my word for it, the same thing over and over and over again. It started out, she was very calm at first, and she was smiling initially. But as she continued to say the same thing over and over, like it was a mantra or a chant, it became abundantly clear that she was becoming very, very upset. And she started to really, really sob. So it seemed as if she was very emotionally invested in what she was chanting. And what she was chanting was this: if you hadn't seen this particular clip of her, or video clip of her that went viral. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Okay. And every time she did it, now she pointed out at the beginning when she was calm, is that that's what they're saying in the lobby. Okay. She smiled very sweetly, but then she started to kind of spin out of control fast, and to the point where it's just like she's beside herself. And I guess she feels as if, keeping in context with the information that I just read from the blog, is that trans people are not loved, and that they're made to feel like they don't belong, and that they are not needed. Okay, so if we're going to operate from this article, this blog, and from a Christ-like mindset and compassion, this is what I'm taking from that. That's how I'm going to read that. I was actually very disturbed by watching her do this, that how emotional she got. Now, I don't know if she herself, is she transgender? I don't know. And I guess I could have found it if I researched her, but I didn't. But I did hope to address what I'm talking about now in regards to her. I don't know is she, what her, I don't know if she's straight. I guess that's what I'm trying to get out, if she's straight or whatever, because of how upset she got. I mean, it was like watching sort of a train wreck in a way. She seemed tormented even. So that's what made me say what I'm saying. I'm wondering, where does she stand personally with this? So anyway, so she says, also as she kept going, she says that she will not rest in her fight to protect the children. So this isn't just about transgender people, adults. It seems like she was hyper focused, which is a commonality I see with a lot of things, but especially with the transgenderism movement. It's the children, our children, okay, our children. Not just our personal children, but children as a whole, and referring to them as our children. This is what bugs me a little bit about it. To be honest with you, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to keep it 100, is when you bring in children in it. Okay, there's one thing you dealing with it yourself and other adults, when you start to reach out and touch children and pull them in it, whether they like it or not. And there have been instances in which I have seen actual children who are very articulate, letting adults know that they don't want to partake of it, and they are being forced to participate in it. That bothers me a great deal. Okay, when children have the articulation and the intellect to let you know